Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review and a demo of the latest release of Power Bullet lipsticks by Huda Beauty, and specifically this collection has been called the Throwback Collection, throwing it back to the 90s, which is when I assume Huda grew up, because that's exactly the same time that I grew up as well, in the 90s. I was, let's see, 1990 I was 8 years old, and by 1999 I was 18 years old. So that was the chunk of my life where I say that I grew up. Now the reason she's named this the 90s Throwback Collection is a lot of the shades are throwing it back to the 90s. Specifically the supermodels of the 90s, such as Cindy Crawford, Christy Turlington, Kate Moss, Naomi Campbell, and these are the same kind of shades that they generally used to wear, and also the shades that a lot of women used to wear, because this is what was popular at that time. Now she always releases collection names which never to me actually go with the product itself. For example, the lipsticks I'm wearing right now, I've mixed two. This is from her previous collection, and they are Staycation and Bachelorette, and I've mixed them together with Spice Girl Lip Contour. Now the names from this collection are also special occasions, certain types of days. So all her lipsticks throughout the entire Power Bullet range, which has been going on for a little while now, have all been named after certain dates and days which are important to people, as opposed to what the collection is called. For example, the ones that I bought, I bought all bar one. Sorry, I've just dropped one on the floor. So I got the one which is called Game Night, First Kiss, Dirty 30, Girls Trip, Last Night, Wedding Day, and Last Night. And I just realised I said last night twice, because it's not called last night, it's called board meeting. I had it in like the wrong casing. Anyway, talking of which, Huda again with the unnecessary plastic casing, which is really not needed. Come on people, climate change, do something to help your planet. Getting rid of this and replacing it with cardboard or paper, which is so much cheaper, by the way. Plastic actually costs more to produce. It will help the environment so much. Small changes lead to bigger changes. So I would implore Huda, stop using these unnecessary pieces of plastic to cover these. It doesn't even make a difference. Literally, as soon as it comes out, it goes in the bin. No one's going to keep this. It's not exactly aesthetically pleasing. Altogether, there were 8 that were released. I bought 7. Now I think about it, why didn't I just get the 8th for the purpose of my channel? But whatever. If you follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, you would have seen when I went into Selfridges one day and I swatched all of them on my hand. I showed it as well, which is why it's great if you guys follow me on other social media so that you can see things as and when they happen, as and when they purchase them, rather than by the time I get to make a video, which isn't always straight away. I decided that one of the shades just wasn't quite right for me, and I believe that was the shade called Prom Night, which was like a kind of very pale pink, but it just did not sit well with my skin tone. Anyway, these retail at £22 each, very pricey in terms of a normal lipstick, which is what it is. But again, it is in line with Huda Beauty's general pricing, which is generally more towards the luxury range of the market. It costs more than, for example, MAC lipsticks. The packaging itself is exactly the same as it always is, in this soft matte plastic casing with a magnetic thing, and then inside is your lipstick, and it is completely matte, and as you can see, it has been created in a diamond shape to try and help you get into the contours of your lips. I first use these lipsticks because my lip edges are round. I always end up going over my lip, but then she says that she's produced this to make it easier for people to apply. But at the end of the day, it is a cream stick lipstick, and as soon as you use it, it's going to go round anyway, so kind of defeats the whole purpose of the reasoning behind it all. So these are a standard 10 out of 10, as they always have been from my channel. These lipsticks are very intensely pigmented, very creamy, maximum color payoff. They last a really long time on the lips. They're soft and matte. They don't feel uncomfortable. They don't snag, they don't drag, they don't emphasize texture, they don't emphasize any lines. They don't feel uncomfortable. They feel lovely. My lips feel hydrated. They don't feel dry like a lot of matte lipsticks can do, or can create on your lips. They can create dryness after a certain amount of hours. I find that that does not happen with these. The deeper shades definitely last obviously a lot longer than the more cooler and paler shades, but that's a given because of the fact that one is darker than the other one. And even once they start to fade throughout the day, they don't fade patchy or anything like that. They leave like a nice clean stain behind. I find that I generally don't have to top these up until at least hour 5 or 6, which to me is pretty good considering it's just a normal lipstick. It's not like a liquid lipstick which you expect to last a lot longer. These last generally longer than a lot of other normal matte lipsticks, and they look absolutely great on the lips. So overall, I've always been very happy with the Power Bullet lipsticks by Huda Beauty. I would rather that she started to expand her liquid lipstick range now, because to be honest, there's like 30 of these shades now. You can calm down, you can stop now, and bring us out some more of your amazing liquid lipsticks, which are some of the best on the market, I would say, and some of my definite favorites. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swatch all of these. I'm not going to use a lip liner. I generally do tend to use lip liners with my lipsticks. I tend to mix colors, like for example what I've done on my face today, but for the purposes of the video, I'm just going to have completely clean lips, and I'm just going to apply them to my bare naked lips, nothing on them, no concealer, foundation or anything like that, just so that you guys can see how it will work with my medium skin tone. For reference, in Huda Beauty's foundation I use the shade Baklava. So this first shade that I've applied is called Girls Trip. This one is a cool toned pink. Now bear in mind, shades that are like this, depending on what kind of brown skin tone you've got, it may work with you or it may make you look like concealer mouth. I think I'm literally on the cusp of looking like I've got concealer mouth in terms of that it doesn't work quite well with the brownness of my skin tone. If I was to wear like a deep pink lip liner or something like that, it would definitely work well, but on its own, not so much. And I do have to say that shades like this, which are pale pink, they literally separate on your lips as soon as you put them on. So even as I was applying it, I could see that it had started to separate, and I'm not a big fan of shades such as this because that's exactly what happens. And if anybody was to look at my lips up close, they would see little lines and little gaps where this is kind of settled within the lips, and it's left like little lines where it doesn't look as clean as it could do. So this next shade is called First Kiss. This one is a lovely everyday warm toned wearable shade. It's like a mixture of like an orangey brick toned shade with a little bit of pink mixed in there. This was definitely the kind of everyday shade that a lot of women wore in the 90s, and this will definitely go really nicely with all skin tones. So this next shade is called Board Meeting. This is another one of my favorite shades. This is a beautiful everyday warm nude shade that would work well with so many skin tones. It's described as a cinnamon mocha shade, which I agree with completely. Such a beautiful shade for the autumn fall season as well. Now for those of you that have tried shades like Interview in the past and maybe found it a little bit too light for your medium skin tone, let's say for example if you're a little bit darker than me, you may have found it a little bit too light, this one would definitely work well for you. This is a beautiful nude shade for everyday wear, for medium to deep skin tones. For fair skin tones, obviously all of these shades will work well with you, so you're okay. But for my medium skin tone girls, especially for those of you that want to wear something which is more work appropriate, school appropriate, you would really like this shade. It looks gorgeous. It looks amazing even without lip liner, and I'm really impressed with this color. So this is another one of the warm tone shades. It's a beautiful deep brown shade. It's almost like a hot chocolate brown kind of shade. It's absolutely gorgeous. Again, perfect for the autumn fall season. Amazing to wear on deep skin tones. For those of you that want to go for really bronzed kind of autumnal sort of looks, this would look amazing on your lips other than the usual kind of orange or nude. But this is absolutely gorgeous. I do find it a little bit more thick to apply. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that it's so pigmented, and I did kind of go outside my lip liner there like I told you that I would, but it's fine now. It's kind of like It doesn't matter, I'm going to wipe it off in a minute anyway. So this is like I said, the shade called Game Night. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful colour. So this next shade is called Last Night, and it's the cool toned comparative to the one that I showed you previously. With all of these 8 shades, there is exactly the same shade in terms of cool version and a warm version, which is why there is 8. So this is the cool toned version of the warm brown shade that I used, the last shade that I showed, wherever it was called. So for those of you that don't really like warm tone shades that much and prefer cool tone, this one is for you. It's beautifully pigmented. It's exactly as it's described, a warm toned deep brown, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Again, perfect for the autumnal and fall months. So this next shade is called Dirty 30, and it is a cool toned purpley brown shade, and probably my least favorite shade from all the ones that I got, purely because of the fact that it's got purple in it. It really pulls out the yellow from your teeth. Now, unless you've had your teeth professionally whitened and you've got normal teeth like me, it will bring out the yellow in your teeth and just make them look like you ain't brushed them in 10 years. And listen, man, I use Sensodyne on my teeth. My teeth are generally quite nice to look at. I mean, they're full of fillings, but on the surface they look okay. But right now, no. But aside from that, and if you do tend to like these kind of colours, in terms of its performance, it's creamy, it's pigmented, it's not patchy, it performs beautifully well, and for that it deserves a 10 out of 10. In terms of colour, I can't really give it a lower mark because colours are obviously subjective and also dependent on what your skin tone is as well. Now, I have purposely left my favourite and I believe the best one till last, the beautifully named Wedding Day. Now, even though this is a cool tone shade, despite the fact that I'm very warm tone, it works really nicely with my skin. It gives that perfect everyday flush of pink to the skin, to the lips. It's almost like my lips, but much better, like how they look in the summer when they're all kind of flushed and rosy looking, not dead and dull like they do in the winter. This is a beautiful shade and will look amazing on so many skin tones. It's described as a soft caramelized pink. I don't know what caramelized pink is, but okay, we'll go with that. Overall, this one is definitely my favorite shade. It just looks beautiful. This is one that I'm probably going to reach for more than all the rest of them, and guaranteed this one will probably be the most popular shade out of all 8. Okay, back to regular programming. My lips are feeling really sore now, but hopefully you've been able to see what exactly all these shades that I purchased look like. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you're planning on buying any of them, I know they're very, very new. You can always get them on offer. I buy mine from Feel Unique because I've got Feel Unique set up as my brand for life. So I tend to get 10% off, plus they always give gift vouchers and that sort of thing. So I actually managed to get like an entire £22 lipstick off, which was amazing value for money, because obviously these are quite pricey and they are permanent, they're not going anywhere. So take your time, see what you like, especially if you like the quality of these lipsticks. See what colours that may or may not match with you, or do what I do, and I tend to mix colours together. I'm going through this phase at the moment of mixing like 5 different colours together just to create the perfect shade. Okay, maybe 5's overkill, but like 3 shades together, just because I own so many lipsticks and I find that this way I'm going through more quicker. Addict. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are about these lipsticks, if you're planning on getting any or if you're gonna wait. If I could recommend any out of all the ones I've shown you, it's like I said, Wedding Day is definitely the one which is probably my favorite. And like from the last range, my favorite was definitely the one called Interview. So there's always one standout one that I find that will go well with most skin tones, not just my own. Anyway, so I will see you all in the next video. Bye.